Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 15 of GetReal with Rajiv. Today we have Pawan, who's behind the camera, who's going to be the voice of your questions. So Pawan, shoot the first question.
The first question is from Ankita. How do you scale a business when you've hit a plateau?
Well, Ankita, if you've hit a plateau, it means that you've reached a stage that I call stability, where everything is going fine, nothing's really exciting. In fact, it seems a little boring. So in such a phase, the critical thing to do as a business is not get set in your comfort zone, but actually to look at reinventing yourself, adding parallel business models or business lines to your business so that you can scale it up. Most entrepreneurs, when they hit stability, they kind of enjoy that process of stability and they feel, well, this is what I wanted. I'm getting a consistent income for myself, so I'm done. The key is actually to understand that business is constantly evolving, business is constantly disrupting. So therefore, you need to reinvent intentionally and explore the next level. Because if you don't explore the next level intentionally, then as there may be a new evolution of business, your business may go out of business. So the key is reinvention, Ankita. That would be my answer for you. So Pawan, what's the second question?
The second question is from Pradeep Kumar. He asks, trainer, coach, mentor, how do they differ in their roles to transform an individual or an organization?
Well, I have my own definitions of who a trainer is, who a mentor is, or who a coach is. So let me put out my definition for you, Pradeep. For me, a trainer is someone who works with an audience, with a larger audience. So it's largely one-to-many, but a mentor and a coach is more one-to-one. A trainer is someone who teaches and gives information, imparts certain skills and knowledge, whereas a coach for me is someone who asks questions. So coaching is not about giving answers. Coaching is about asking questions to help the person that you're coaching to think and reflect and come up with the answer by themselves. So coaching is a lot of extraction of intelligence or optimizing the intelligence of the individual that you're working with. Mentor is someone who has expertise and is giving their advice. So in that way, you see, coaching and mentoring are two different things altogether. Mentoring is more about telling, coaching is more about asking. Mentoring is more about giving advice, coaching is more about generating solutions from the person. So that would be my distinction. So when it comes to working with individuals and an organization, you got to really understand which form of impartation is necessary. So if you want to teach people, then use training. If you want to give people specific advice of what they're supposed to be doing, then wear the mentor's hat. But if you want people to think and people to generate solutions, then play the role of a coach and ask intelligent questions. So that's how I would see the distinction between training, coaching, and mentoring. So let's go to the third question now.
The third question is from Vasavi Lakhani. She asks, franchising is the next level of my business. Let's just say we take that next step and it does not work out. How do we avoid making mistakes while deciding the next level of our business?
Well, Vasavi, the biggest mistake in business is to worry about how to avoid mistakes. Please know you'll get some right, you'll get some wrong. There's no real roadmap or manual that these are 50 steps to success in business. The key is, if you think franchising is the next step for you, unless and until you don't do it, you won't know whether it's going to work or not work. And it's only when you get down to doing it will you realize what are the gaps in capabilities, what are the gaps in clarity. And it's about being a seeker and creating solutions while you face those new challenges. Here's what happens to a lot of businesses, and I'll kind of link it to Ankita's question that she asked. What happens to a lot of businesses is when they reach the stage of stability, they actually go into a mode of fear where they don't want to get things wrong. And that's why they start getting it wrong. So stop playing to not get things wrong, and please give yourself the permission to fail, lose a little. I know you've reached a stage of stability and now you're looking at the next level. And from that point of view, there is reluctance to get things wrong. And this is where you may settle into the comfort zone. So don't make that mistake of not wanting to get things wrong. Go out there, get things wrong to figure out what is the right way of doing things, and don't sit in that comfort zone. Reinvent, challenge yourself, Vasavi. Don't play to not lose the game. Play to win the game. That's how you got to approach the game. So that would be my advice, Vasavi. Let's go to the fourth and final question.
The fourth question is from Vivek. My customers only want to talk to me and won't do business or talk to my team. What should I do?
Well, Vivek, you've kind of rubbed salt on the wounds of a lot of entrepreneurs watching this GetReal episode, where I completely understand that in some businesses what tends to happen, or rather in most businesses, most small and medium entrepreneurs face this challenge where the business runs on their face value and the customer just wants to interact with them. Well, I want you to understand this, Vivek. If your customer is not interested in interacting with your team, there's largely one reason for it, that your team is not able to deliver the same kind of experience to the customer that you are able to deliver. So it's a competence and a capability challenge of your team. So focus on delegating and developing to your team. And it's also not about dropping the ball to your customer who's used to working with you randomly and saying, hey, from now on start interacting with my team. You got to effectively transition your team member or transition your customer to your team member. And how do you do that? You do that by making sure that your team member is shadowing you in every conversation with that customer. You're building that familiarity over a period of time with your customer and your team member. And then beyond a period of time, when your customer is comfortable with your team member, then you request your customer to give you feedback about the team member, and you tell the customer that, hey, can you mentor my team member? Can I put him across to you, and can he handle all the conversations with you? In this way, what you're doing is you're making your customer a stakeholder in developing your team, and you're really deepening your relationship with the customer as well. So the key, Vivek, is to make sure that you transition and you make sure that your team member is shadowing you through the process. These are two key elements if you want to make sure that your customers become comfortable with your team members. And the bottom line is, work on the capabilities of your team members. If they can't give the customer the experience that the customer desires, then obviously they would come back to you again and again. So your job as a leader is to make sure that your second line team of leaders give the same quality of experience to your customers. That is the work that you have to put in, my friend. So with that, we are done with the 4 questions for episode number 15 of Get Real with Rajiv. So we need to pick a winner for this week who gets the book Lead or Bleed as a gift from our side for the best question. So Pawan, indicate for me. Okay, Pawan's picked a pick and I go with Pawan's pick this week. So this week's best question of the week goes to Vasavi Lakhani, because you've asked a question that I think a lot of entrepreneurs can resonate with in terms of that worry to not get it wrong. So Vasavi, you got this one right. You're getting a copy of the book Lead or Bleed. So for those of you who are watching, make sure you drop in the comments your questions that we could answer in the Get Real series. And if you like this series, make sure you share it so more entrepreneurs get exposed to Get Real with Rajiv. Thank you guys. Look forward to seeing you in the next episode.